welcome back to the Time for Heroes podcast. On the podcast today, I've got Bruce Breakey. Is that how you pronounce it? Bruce Breakey, one half of the duo Good Health, Good Wealth, due to bring out their debut album this time next year. Will be Millionaires. That comes out November the 14th, which is next Friday, or the next Friday coming up. By the time this podcast comes out anyway, probably about midweek. So and on top of that, I sold it tour off the back of that. But what I want to do is kind of get right back to the start and how it kind of came to this point that we're at. So what was life like for a young Bruce growing up?
Just the normal sort of working class experience, really. I mean, I'm from East London and then moved out to Essex, as many East Londoners have done. Moved out to Southend, which is just regular seaside town, I suppose. And a load of my dad's brother had moved out there from North London. It's just one of them things. They were just like, look, can't really afford to live here no more. Move out there. And, you know, we used to go on holiday there. So it was like, from where we were, it was like a step up. But normal sort of experience. There were no big dreams of getting into music or anything. I ain't got anyone like that in my family. There's nothing of that. We're not from that world, as it were. Mm-hmm. But I started sort of making beats as a teenager. It was when like grime was big. Mm-hmm. Not that it's died or anything, you know, it's still around, but when it was really hot. Yeah. And I was making beats for some of my mates, like rapping a little bit, just you know, standard school type stuff, right? Got into it a bit. I was like, I quite like this, like actually getting into this a bit. And I'd sit like, in the spare room and be making them on we only got a computer quite late. I was probably like 15 or something. And I managed to get like the demo of Fruity Loops on there, which is like a software you can make stuff on, but you couldn't save anything on there. Every time you made something, you had to finish it there and then and print it, which I think has stood me in good stead now. It means that I'm quite good at getting stuff done. Mm-hmm. So I was doing that for a bit, then was going to just go and get a job, but at my school, they wanted everyone to do the uni applications and whatever, so I did it without thinking anything of it, whatever. I ended up getting into a university, and no one in my family had been to university before, so it was like, oh, well, I might as well go then. And I was lucky, I was just before it started to get really stupidly expensive. Yeah. So it was like, all right, we'll go and do that. Done a music course. And the main thing, really, when I was doing the course, the course was rubbish, to be honest. I didn't learn anything. I sort of picked the wrong course. It was like an engineering course rather than like a production one, right? Just whatever, I'm an idiot. But there's a guy that came and done a talk, and it was a guy called Fraser T. Smith. And he's like a big songwriter that produces like one of the biggest guys in the UK, right? But he'd worked with Craig David and Plan B, who were two geezers that I loved growing up. I was like, I'll go to this talk. Chatted to him a bit after, and everyone was like giving him their CDs or USBs or whatever. And I was just talking to him about Craig David for ages, like. And so I think, because I didn't like go for him as such, he was like, so what do you do? And I told him I was an actor. And he was like, why are you at this talk then? I was like, well, I do music as well. Yada, yada, yada. Long story short, we end up having a really nice sort of friendship that bloomed. He was like, oh, you've got a real way, how you kind of talk, how you use words, how you're it's quite interesting. Have you ever like done any writing? Like, I know you make beats, but have you ever written anything? And I was like, no, I don't. No. He's like, why don't you do it? And I just didn't really know that you could. No, it's stupid. I didn't realise that you could just go and write a song, really. I was like, yeah, I suppose I could give it a go. And I wrote a couple of bits, and then we sort of had a really good little back and forth going for a while. He wanted to sort of sign me to this publishing thing. Didn't work out in the end because he was doing more dance stuff at the time, and it weren't really my world at that moment. But that massively like just opened my eyes to how it is possible for like normal people to do this as well. You
Hmm.
don't have to have gone to Brit school. You don't have to have gone and like learn clarinet as a kid or whatever. You can just go and do it if you've got something that you want to say. And I was like, okay. And I happened to meet a few fellas around that sort of early 20s, and one of them was a drummer, and he was friends with Simon, who's the other geezer who's in Good Health, Good Wealth. And so he introduced me to him. And then from there, we've just literally been making music, like met in the Weatherspoons, got on. We were so different. Like I was there in a tracksuit, and Simon came up like on his bike, like with like a Black Sabbath t-shirt on, and like the big, like the Liam Gallagher bowl cut
Hmm.
thing. And like, we are worlds apart, as well as him being Lithuanian. But we just got on. Like also both were just keen to like do stuff. So it was like an odd pairing, but I think
Yeah.
it made it what it is even from the start. We sort of had this like punk band for a bit. It was really fun, but like it was too bob really.
Well, I read in an interview last night. I was looking at interviews. So he seemed to be into kind of the libertines stuff like that as well back then. So
Much more that world.
so
Um,
obviously there's that kind of mashup between the two styles, which kind of you can see kind of going forward in the music.
yeah, 100%. And I think that's what hopefully, you know, it's what's the thing? Friction causes fire, and it like you need.
Hmm.
If we were both just the same person, we would be just making very one-dimensional music, I think. But the fact that we've got both our heads together on it does make this kind of beautiful little mixture, this potion. And it's always been interesting when because one of us can fly off one way and then the other one flies another way, and then oh, actually, can we bring these things together? And then yeah, often. I mean, look, enough times it doesn't work, but when it does work, it's always really good. So
I mean, even like back then, there was always there was that time in the kind of like indie sleaze era where the kind of rap grime stuff kind of crossed over into that. You had like Lethal Basil was doing some stuff with bands. You had Dizzy Rascal was it then. Trying to think fucking what was the one Pete Doherty done the Baby Shambles.
mm.
They done the cover of Janie Jones, and they had.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to think who was on that, but there was grime artists. There was that crossover. So even then, that was
Mm.
happening. So it's kind of no as kind of alien as people might think.
Mm. And I think
Um,
also, like someone like Mike Skinner is so massive in terms of like for people from just normal working class background to be able to talk about like it's same as like Ian Jury, the
mhm.
Madness, like these type artists are so important, especially for me, like to be able to talk about you know just normal stuff. It doesn't have to be these huge big ideas all the time. I always like sort of really zooming into the little things, and he's a massive influence for me for sure. And I think without him, there wouldn't be a lot of music that there is now. You know?
Hmm. And like, obviously, you touched on like Craig David and Plan B, and then you've mentioned the Streets there. So, like, going forward to like the album coming out, and it's a concept album. Um, so obviously the Streets, a Grand Don't Come for Free concept album, Plan B's concept album for Ill Manners, and then you get Craig David's 7 Days. Obviously, this album's like a concept to a week in the life of yous. So were you using the kind of influences to for this idea concept album?
100%, 100%. I mean, also, I mean, like I was saying earlier, when I said to Fraser, I'm an actor, I've always loved film and sort of visual media, even music videos, like those old Michael Jackson music with a story, you know. I'd sit on, watch the telly as a kid, just waiting for like Californication music videos to come on or something because I just loved it. And just trying to go to the cinema, trying to just get as many VHS tapes as possible as a kid, watching them over and over and over again. And it would be the music and the visuals that kind of come together. And I think Plan B did it really, really well with the Strickland Banks album, particularly. I think is phenomenal. Grando Comfort Free, obviously amazing. I just wish that he'd made a film for it, you
Mm.
know, like. And I'm sure I'd never thought about the Craig David thing, but I mean, the 7 day concept, it probably has filtered in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, I've listened to him as a kid. It probably has filtered in. You know what I mean? And I just wanted to, I really wanted to, because our music can be quite eclectic. I wanted to bring it together and tell a story through the music where like some of the different styles could be used as a, as a way of storytelling. So like say White Men is just a, well, not, it's a house kind of tune, right?
Hmm.
We never released that, like, unless it was part of a wider thing because it kind of doesn't make sense. But I really loved the tune and I wanted to try and work out how it makes sense, you know? So it just allowed me, even if other people don't delve into it too much, hopefully they do, but it allowed me to make sense of it in my head, which then meant I could go fully in with the record, if you know what I mean. Rather than
Hmm.
just so easy now to just, because of the way people consume music, like just chuck out random songs. And yeah, cool. Like there's loads of great artists that do just throw songs out and have good singles. And we've obviously released this drip for it all as singles. But I've always wanted to be an album artist. You know, I rate that. I like bodies of work. I like
Hmm.
getting myself into the shoes of where an artist was when they were making that record. If I'm listening to a Tom Waits record, if you listen to Bloomin' Alice, it's so much different to listening to like that Swordfish Trombones album. He's in a different, he's a different character almost.
Yeah.
You know, I would really like.
Well, as you say, like drip feeding it. So, like the first single, Full Circle, came out October 2024.
Yeah.
But before that, like before that song, you get a fucking long string of fucking music out before that. Like, so I was listening to Love Hangover just before I came on.
Hmm.
That's like the first song on Spotify. Anyway, I don't know if there was any releases before that, but I mean that Love Hangover still sounds fresh as fuck, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and like so, at what point did you think, right? Well, none of these songs are going to be on an album.
What, as in the old ones?
Yeah.
I suppose it was just, that Love Hangover came out 2021 and we were just trying to find our feet really. We were trying to find the sound, we were trying to find out how it worked. We'd never even played a live show as a two piece at that point.
Hmm.
So we were still kind of running off songs that I'd written for a band, if you know what I mean. So we were trying to work out how everything sort of sat. And then as kind of the years have gone on, we've found our sort of feet with how me and Simon work 100% as a duo. Look, there's still a lot of scope for elevation. That's what we want to do with the next record. We do want to really elevate it from where we are with Millionaires. And that's not to say that some of these songs couldn't see the light of day again. I have thought about it, to be honest. I'd love to repackage and sort of almost take the songs and look at them now, how we are as a band, as a group, whatever you would call us. Because I agree. I think they're great songs, and especially something like Guinness, or The Weekend. Like, I feel like they're really, really inherently good health, good wealth, and they probably deserve to be like properly pushed.
Yeah, totally. Because I
Yeah.
mean, that's it. I mean, like I've like for Hong Kong head as well. Like there's so much there, man, and
Mhm.
that's a good thing for like anybody that's tuning into this and they've never heard you. There is like a fucking body of work to go and listen to kind of sink your teeth into.
Yeah.
Of somebody you mentioned was Madness as well. You mentioned the Enduring, you mentioned Madness. A murder for song names and all that. So I can't mind what song it's on, but there's a
Mm.
line in it, My Girl Fancies You, which
Mm.
is a Madness line as well. So was that a kind of a wee nod to them?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's
My
the
girl
sound
Sunday.
bit and everything, it's brilliant. It's just kind of see wee clicks like that, and like obviously like um mentioning Victor Moses and stuff like that. It's just kind of it's that typical British kind of hook that you've got, like kind of like a Mike Skinner or an Alex Turner, the Arctic Monkeys. You get this way with words.
Mm.
Who is it? Is it you that writes the lyrics, or do you both have a kind of look in with that sort of thing?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much I do most of the lyrics. We do obviously work on stuff together. So if there's like, often Simon will push me. It'll be like, if there's room for improvement, he won't always be like, oh, I think you should write this. He'll be like, yeah, I really, really like this. I think this could be a bit better, you know? So it's like more about elevating what I'm doing. But sometimes Simon writes as well, but his way that he writes is very particular to him. So
Mm.
sometimes when I've then tried to perform stuff that he's written, it doesn't feel right. Um, so look, you might get a Simon Simonas Kuzmitskas solo record at some point. It'll be very beautiful, poetic, jazzy guitar. If you had to like properly boil it down, I'm lyrics, Simon's music. That's how we sort of.
hmm So, like playing this music live. So, how has that kind of evolved for starting it? What sort of venues were you playing at the start? What was the London scene like, and then taking it further afield. And obviously, this year you've been hitting all the fucking festivals as well. So how has it kind of taking that for the start and evolving it in a live setting to the culmination of the festivals and then this tour?
I think we've been really lucky in that when we were playing early on in London, I suppose we cut our teeth on in the years with the punk band, so we knew how to play like we're used to it. But we've always also had a really, really good group of mates that turn up and make it good. So pretty much in London, like, our first show in, well, as Good Health, Good Wealth was at the Seabright Arms, which is about 100, 150 cap maybe. And
iconic venue as well. See the amount of times it's come up on this podcast. Obviously, I've had quite a few London bands, and obviously that Seabright Arms was kind of synonymous with Libertines.
yeah, yeah, and it's always a good night because they often do karaoke after it, and
Hmm.
it's fun. But we sold that out, and that's our first show we've ever played, as Good Health, Good Wealth. And in terms of like local shows, we always have got people turning up. Then like we we went on our very first tour as Good Health, Good Wealth. We were supporting the Twang, and it was so early in what we were doing. It was literally just Phil Everest, the singer, who's an absolute legend. He heard our tune The Weekend and happened to really like it and just hit us up, like personally, to see if we wanted to come. And we were no one, like total no marks at this point. Um, and we were on like first support on their UK tour. Red Rum Club were the middle support and then them, which is mad how everything sort of moved since then. But those shows, because we were on so early, obviously they were more quiet at the start, and we were out of bounds. We were really like Stoke and up in Glasgow.
Hmm.
Playing those shows was massively like eye opening to how much you have to just treat every show as if it's Wembley,
Yeah.
because if you're in a room, there was a show we done in Derby. It was in like a working man's club. And genuinely, I think there were about 6 people there. And it was one of them like carpeted floor venues. And we come out like, at this point, we were wearing suits. And obviously, part of you is like, oh, I hate myself so much. What am I doing? Like, you just have to fully send it. And afterwards, everyone's coming up. They're trying to buy us drinks at the bar. Like, obviously, it fills up as you're going.
Yeah.
And I'm like, right, I didn't know what to expect at all, blah, blah, blah. And you could, go to a show like that and just get annoyed and storm off or leave straight away after, whatever. But we wanted to, always think you want to lean in and give the best version of yourself everywhere. And
Yeah,
I
you
think,
want to make an impression, didn't you? Because if they 6 people go and tell another 6 people, you know what I mean? And that's how it spreads.
100%. We're total. Everything we've done has been totally organic through real people, and that's great. We haven't got any sort of ins anywhere or whatever. Like we've just got lucky with meeting the right people at the right time, and people being really generous with their time and helping us out to give us, a bit more of a platform and whatever. And hopefully, also the music kind of has done some heavy lifting too, you
Hmm.
know, got us. And I mean, TikTok, that's the other blooming thing. The social media game, like, I mean, that's opened so many doors for us. And we were so staunchly against it at first because
Hmm.
we are not these geezers. Like, oh, what are we doing going on TikTok? Like, I've not got a clue what I'm doing. But actually, when that full circle one booted off, we realized, wow, this is such a massive tool that you can use. And I mean, as I say, we've done these tours and there was no uptake from like anything before
Hmm.
the social media thing, like what we saw, like thousands of people coming in overnight. And you're like, wow, you can literally drive around the UK and play in front of people and still you do this weird thing on your phone.
Hmm.
Thousands of people come in. It's mental. Uh,
It's so simple though what you're doing. Like with social media, you can overcomplicate it, and like what you're doing, just kind of in like a bizarre location or whatever, and just play your music, and it's so simple but so effective.
yeah, I think we were looking so long. Like, I mean, I was still trying to do it for years, like working out how to make it work, and nothing did anything. You get like the odd one that goes a bit, and it'd be like a picture of me eating pie and mash. You'd be like, why has this one gone? And it's weirdly because people would comment on it, either like, oh, I know that place, or love pie and mash, or people would be commenting like, I hope you're not a cosplayer pretending to like working class stuff, but you're actually from Surrey, or, you know what I mean, like that type. Like, or you get the haters, and then all of a sudden you get a bit of traction, and it pushes it out. And I think we've realised that with ones that you've done before, and it'd be like, it doesn't go anywhere. It goes to your mates, and they're like it, whether if they even do that. You need it to really stop people in their tracks. And it was like when I started putting little baity comments on, well, like some people won't understand these lyrics because some people don't understand them. Some people do comment and they say, "What is this geezer just naming things, saying random stuff?" And it's like, no, I'm obviously not doing that, and you don't understand it. That's fine. It's not for you, man. So just move on. And I just put that on a whim, and then that one just flew. It just gets people talking, I suppose. But yeah, it's weird how then just playing the music did so much. For so long, I should have just done that,
I might try something like that myself for the podcast because that's like, see, when I post like an episode of the podcast, it maybe got like 40 to 50 likes or something. And I put something up last week, and it was neat. It was just a picture. I was in work. And posted a picture of the ground, and I wrote on it, I've heard some cracking albums that are coming out in 2026. These are all in for a treat. Some of the music coming is banging or whatever, and it get like quadruple the amount of likes that any other post I've got. And I thought, there's nothing there, there's no artwork, it's just a fucking comment. And I couldn't get my head around why that gets so many likes. It was mere just, I was just chuffed that I've been listening to a couple of albums that Katie had sent me, like yours was one, and then there was a couple of other ones, and I just wanted to post it, but it get more likes than anything else I've ever done in fucking 2 or 3 years. It's odd, isn't it, man? I don't think you can ever work out the algorithm.
You just got to be as genuine as you possibly can, I think.
Hmm.
And that's kind of the main takeaway that we've got. It's like, if you try and manufacture anything, people can sniff it out. They're not idiots. Do you know what I mean? Like, as much as you want to just sell your stuff to people, you can't force them. You have to you have to be clever about it, and you have to also be, just genuine and yourself, because otherwise you can sniff it out.
And obviously, I touched on it at the start, I was going to give you a row, so we talked about some of the locations, and I was scrolling through it last night, and I thought, what the fuck is that, man? I could not believe it. Do you know what I'm talking about?
What was the Ibrox?
Yeah. I thought, why have they done that? And as well as that, obviously on this tour you're playing McCool's in Glasgow, which is, I don't know if you've played there before, but I mean that's a right good Celtic pub. Um,
We're all as well, like, I mean, obviously Simon's Lithuanian, but me and the two boys, Aaron and Nathan, that manage us, we're all London Irish. And we basically, like, my uncles have given me absolute stick for that as well. But I'll tell you what happened, right, is we were filming, we'd been out the night before, we played King Tut's with this band called Noisy, who are top lads. But we didn't know them that well at that point. So we were like, right, first night of the tour, we're going to go big, right? Show them what we're about. At this point, we were, doing that type of thing. I'm trying to be a lot more sensible now. So we ended up in the casino. It was a very large night, right? As we were coming back from the casino, there is one at that casino as well. It's in like the car park.
hmm
But there was a security guard. We were like, oh, we'll do one there tomorrow, one of the videos. We come back, park the van, go and set up. But then the security guard come over and he was like, "Oh, you can't do this here, whatever." We just basically done it, got it done. He was lovely. He was just like, "I have to move you on, basically. Why don't you go to Ibrox?" And we all looked at each other and we were like, "I don't really know if that's a good idea." But then we were like, "It would annoy people." We were like, "Oh, should we do it? Should we do it?" And we were like, well, for some reason, we were so like hungover and our brains didn't work. Actually, Aaron said, he was like, "It's not like one of them things like where they share the same stadium, is it?" And we were like, "I don't think so." But we ended up having it. We should have just looked where Celtic was because it was only down the road. We
Yeah.
could have, but
To be
I
fair,
do.
it's probably the best thing that's been seen at Ibrox this year.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
Yeah. But yeah, don't be showing any of that in my kills because I can't imagine it being done well in there.
Oh, mate, absolutely not. Couldn't believe it. When we found out that we were playing there, we were like, "Oh shit, we've obviously done that fucking video." And then a lot of the comments on the video were like, "Oh, I didn't realize you were Gers, man." And we were like, "Oh no." But you just gotta just let it slide. But I've tried to like, I posted it again recently, and I've tried to like quietly tell people that we didn't want to be there. But
Yeah,
people still,
I seen the wee comment at the end about your frazzled minds. Blame your frazzled minds for the location. So we'll put it into that. Um, but I mean, just getting back then, obviously the festivals last year, you done Kendall Collin, 2003's Isle of Wight, Glastonbury, Great Escape, Truck, and then kind of culminated with Reading and Leeds,
Mhm.
which probably Reading and Leeds is probably for like a rap grime sort of style. That's probably the best festival for that kind of thing because that's the day that kind of rock rap sort of stuff. So culminating in that. So what was it like, kind of playing the festivals?
Totally mad, to be honest. I mean, we played a few, but they're mostly through, mostly been through Mikey, this feeling. Who's
Brilliant
always,
guy, isn't he, man? He does so much for.
yeah, he's the best. He's always supported us from early doors in with our old band. He's been like keeping us involved. And even when we started Good Health, Good Wealth, we weren't doing much with him because we didn't think that it sort of fit. And then one of my pals, Jake, who's a really good mate of his, he was like, "Why don't you just do a bit more stuff with this feeling again?" And I was like, "I don't think that we're not really their thing, are we?" He was like, "No, definitely." So we got back in touch and we were like, then started really getting stuck in with them again. But those are the only ones we've really done. Um, so to then start getting booked on these other ones and on different stages the Reading and Leeds stages were stupid. You know, they were
Yeah,
mad. And people were there. And you're like, especially at Reading, Leeds was a bit more of a struggle, but it was still like not as busy, but still a really good show. Whereas Reading was like, I mean, I don't know how many people you could fit in there, but it was at least halfway full, and it was thousands of pods in there, which was ridiculous. I mean, but the best one, I would say, was Truck this year, and that
hmm
was this stage. And we had such a good crowd that like it was chock a block in the tent, and like everyone really going for it, like understood it, knew the songs, like you were really in it. Um, so yeah, big up Mikey, man. He's the guy, but I
yeah,
think
totally, man. Again, it's another thing that comes up time and time again on the podcast. Obviously, I was managing a band for a bit. I've kind of stepped away, but I'm still kind of in touch with the boy because he works with me, and
Mhm.
I I was talking to him the other night, and that's what I was saying. You just need to, because they just play Glasgow all the time. And I'm like, you need to get out and about and get in touch with this feeling, because you get in with this feeling, you'll get a wee tour where you'll do Manchester, Birmingham, London, Glasgow, and you'll
Mhm.
get on all the festivals. You'll get on this feeling stage. That's the only way really to kind of to fucking do it.
No,
Obviously,
it's
I had the Claws on. They were my last guest, and there's so many bands like them, and they
mhm.
follow that model. You do a tour at the start of the year, you do all the festivals, and then you do a tour at the end of the year, and you bring out an EP to to coincide with your tour. Man, it's a model that works for all these bands, and it's Mikey, this feeling that kind of he's structured that model so it works.
Yeah, 100%.
The guy's absolutely integral to the music industry, man. He's an absolute star.
Hmm.
Um, so the album's out, say November the 14th. Um, Obviously he says you like the album, the body, like having a body of work. So these 7 songs, we've already heard 6 of them. So it's basically kind of like a single release in it.
Yeah,
So the last song on it, the title track of the album. So what can we expect for that? And then what can we expect going forward into next year?
you can expect from this time next year with Millionaires. This was the first record. I mean, it's the oldest record on the album. It's kind of the thing I wrote it in maybe 2021, 2022. I've always had this idea in my head of that will be what the album is. That will be what the album is. And I think it is just a really nice finisher for the record. It's got really nice fusion of the two sounds, kind of. It's got the electronic side. It's got some really nice guitar bits. It's got essentially, it's leading you into where we're going to be going next, I suppose, sound wise, somewhat. Um, and I don't know how much I can say. I mean, we do have other stuff coming with this album as well, because I know we knew that like the way we've done it is a bit cheeky in like, giving everything a single release essentially. But we wanted to make sure nothing got lost. And I think because we weren't with a label or anything,
Hmm.
just all independently, we were like, well, who's telling us not to do it? You know what I mean? What geezer upstairs is telling, no, it's not the way you can do it in the industry. Like, we can do what we want. So
Yeah.
we just wanted to do everything and make sure, like something like Beautiful Boy, like a 6 minute, like epic record about me old man with lyrics about Indiana Jones in it, is not a single, but I wanted it to be. You know what I mean? So I think Millionaires at the end is just going to tie everything together. And then once that's out, we've obviously got our tour, and we're doing like a few other bits as well. We're doing like a record store day and some nice things. We want to meet people. We want to sort of get the record out there that way. And then we've got the actual tour, which will be really, really exciting.
Some
And
class
then
venues as well on that tour. Obviously, Deaf Institute in Manchester and Deadwax in Birmingham.
some really, really good one. It's going to
Yeah.
be, and it's so amazing that that's sold out. I mean, it's crazy that everywhere's sold out. It's totally mental. From like having to ring your mates up to sell out an 80 cap gaff in London where we live to coming up to Glasgow or Dublin, or you know what I mean? Like it's totally mad. Um, so we're really excited for that. And then we do have basically, obviously, because there is a narrative, I have written a a piece, shall we say, that we're gonna hopefully it's in the works. Let's say for next year, it's gonna
Brilliant.
get. And we also do we've worked with so many really cool producers um, over the years. Not really a lot on this record. We tried to keep most of it as me and Simon,
Hmm.
but wanted to give people something else. So we are going to do some remixes of the record as well. And ideally, I think we're going to do the whole record as a remix LP. But I don't quote me 100% because they're not all done yet. But
Yeah.
yeah,
No,
that's
that,
the
that sounds good. I mean, like the remixes of Guinness, I loved all that. So
yeah.
remixes are cool because it gives the track a whole new vibe.
Also, I feel like it's almost like how I'm seeing it is it's a different way that the week could have gone.
Hmm.
So this
Yeah.
is one in a week, but it could have gone this way. So it just gives everything a bit more life and also gives people like we've got producers like our mate Happy Cat J. We work with him loads. He's done like a remix of the Calf, which is great. And we haven't been able to put anything that we've worked on the actual album yet. So it's nice as a way to sort of put these out as well, because
Hmm.
otherwise they probably won't see the light of day. And there's no point just holding on to them forever. We want to give them to people and get them out there. So yeah, it's exciting, man.
I see you just posted as well. You're playing London, the Lexington, start of January. I'd noticed that, and I noticed Jasper Hodges on that night as well. I seen him supporting Louis Dunford a couple of months ago. That boy's a real talent as well, Jasper.
Yeah, I haven't actually seen him live. I've heard some stuff only through Lou, um, when he um, announced that he was doing the support. But I think it's going to be a really good night. The other guy calling six, really good as well. So I think it's going to be a really cool night.
You
Abby,
you mentioned Lou there. Are you mates with him?
only really through, we supported him in Norwich. When was it? Last year? I think it was last year. Met him then and just got on really well. He's just such a fucking nice bloke. And
Absolutely fucking desperate to get him in the podcast, and I cannot get in touch with him.
yeah, I can give him a shot. I'll see if I can get him on there. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
He's a lovely, lovely bloke. He's obviously very busy,
Hmm.
but I'm sure that he'd be up for it. He's
I was emailing him direct. I was emailing see the wee lassie that he's had kind of on stage with him doing like the vocals. I emailed her, but I can't get an in anyway. I've been
yeah,
trying to get him for about 3 or 4 years, man, because a brilliant story to tell. I love the Arsenal stuff as well. Are you an Arsenal fan?
Arsenal fan. Yeah, yeah.
See, that's a good connection there with Kieran Tierney.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Obviously, Kieran Tierney stayed round the corner for me before he went into Arsenal. And he's come back up here. He's not the same player. It's a shame.
Such a shame. He was amazing for us for a bit. I really, really loved him for like. I mean, even till the end, like I was willing him to be as good as he was. He just, I don't know really what happened, unfortunately, but he always seemed like a really good bloke as well. Seemed like he really wanted to play.
Yeah, totally. The thing, I mean, even like seeing him this season, he doesn't seem to have the same fitness. He's not the same player as he was, but there's still glimpses of it. You
Yeah.
still see it, and you're like, you just want more of that, and it's just wee flashes we get. Um, so looking forward to this album coming out. Looking forward to tour and looking forward to next year. Also, I see Pan and Arrow magazine, as you can
I was
see.
looking at that. Yeah.
So, yeah, the next issue number 9, is due imminently, and there's a feature of you in that as well. So we'll be looking forward to that. They're great lads as well. I'm sure if you fucking go and see them at the McCool's gig, they'll kit you out in some gear as well, man. Cracking boys.
I think they are coming. To be fair,
Yeah. So that'll be great. I'm looking forward to that article. But in the last part of the podcast, asked my guest to pick four heroes to come for dinner. Why they're your heroes, and what would you cook for them?
Ooh, oh, I cook. I didn't think about what I was going to cook. Okay, four heroes, dead or alive, in music specifically.
Any walk of life, anything you want.
I would have to bring slightly controversial.
We like
I have
controversial.
to bring Tom Waits, not controversial. He'd be there. But I think I would also have to have Michael Jackson there because I need to know. I need to know what's going on. I need to know what he's like in real life. I've heard so many different things of like how it was all a ruse and he didn't even sound like that and whatever. Right. I need to know that for one. And also I think in my mind, those two are my top two artists. I think they're
Hmm.
in total other ends of the spectrum, but I think they're my two top artists ever for me.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, it's funny the Michael Jackson thing because like there is so much fucking. It is so hard to kind of distinguish between the two because to have such a great artist and then have that kind of other fucking side that people don't like to talk about. I mean, like, you get fucking Gary Glitter, but he was absolute pish anyway.
and that's the
Um,
thing. It's sort of a fucking one of them and also a fairly shit musician. It's different. If you know, if it's a bit shrouded in mystery and you're also literally the king of pop,
mhm.
I've just got to ask the questions. Do you know what I mean? I'd love to know. Um, I think I would like to have, if it's not only musicians, I think I'd like to have Danny Dyer there, just because he would
Mhm.
really just, he'd set it off from everyone else. He's gonna ask the questions if I don't. You know what I mean? And it'd be nice to have a bit of home comfort. And also he's just hilarious.
Yeah, that's hilarious. And I think he's got better as he's got older. I think he
Like,
seems more relaxed in himself.
he's got more aware of who he is, I think, and happy to take a mickey out of himself, which I think is a very, very, very important trait to have. You don't need to.
I can always mind they done like the real football factories. And see when they come up to Glasgow and done the Celtic Rangers, and you go, oh, it's all kicking off here, and there was nothing going on. It was just fans walking by each other. Like I've known times when folk have been fucking stabbed in the throat and all that. So like, um, what he was reporting was nothing, man. It was so funny, man. I think he gets some stick for that even now, but.
It's all Vitelli, though, isn't it? It's all Vitelli.
Yeah, but I mean, watching that, I watched him on what is it, there was a interview on the Assembly, it was called, on ITV, where it was like all autistic people they interviewed him, they interviewed Michael Sheen, David Tennant, and
Uh,
obviously people on the spectrum asking questions, you don't know what they're going to ask. That was so good to kind of to see that and the connection that he made with these people, man. And it brought a different side to him.
mm, that's really nice. Yeah, I think he's a good bloke. I think so.
Yeah,
And then I don't think I need another musician. I could do, but part of me feels like I should invite my dad. Yeah, go on. The old man can come.
yeah, have your old man.
He'll be there. I should invite him. I should invite Simon, really, but I'm not allowed if I've only got 4.
Oh, you can have Simon, obviously. That's a given. You know what I mean? That's a given.
I'll not have Simon. Me and Simon can share. So, yeah. My old man's got to be there because, you know, he'll keep an eye on me.
And what you cooking this bunch? That's I always like to get a kind of idea, especially when I have people in the afternoon. It gives me an idea of what I'm going to make for dinner the night.
If I knew how to cook it, I'd cook and pie and mash, as in Cockney pie and mash.
Mm-hmm.
But so hard to. I was talking to my mate about this the other day, and he was saying like, his auntie used to every week try and cook pie and mash at home, and he'd be getting them in. They'd be like, yeah, they're nice, but it's not right. If you knew how to cook proper pie and mash, that's what I'd cook. As I don't, I'd probably make just a huge big vat of chili con carne. Because who doesn't like chili con carne? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and if you don't, I've got.
Yeah.
And also, it's hot. So, like, everyone gets a little bit, you know, loose. You ever seen that show, that Hot Ones?
No, I haven't.
Like an interview thing on YouTube. And the geezer, he interviews celebrities. But as they're going along, they're eating hot wings.
Right.
To be hot. So, like, he'll be interviewing, you know, Idris Elba or something. And at the start, it's all fine. And by the end, he's like, fucking hell. It's like proper loose, like how you actually are in real life. You know what I mean? It's a really good concept. So, yeah, I'll make them a really hot chili and then ask all the questions that I need to.
Yeah, that sounds amazing, man. It sounds so relaxed.
Yeah, that's what we want. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Bruce, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you. All the best for the album next week. All the best for the tour. I'll post links for your album and all that. I would post links for the tour, but completely sold out. So no point fucking anybody trying to get tickets for that. We'll see you next year for another tour, hopefully. But all the best with what's coming up going forward. I think you're going to absolutely smash it.
Hopefully, mate, we'll see you this time next year.
Millionaires, yes, mate. Brilliant, man. All the best, mate. Thank you very much.
Give us a shout if you want to come to the Glasgow show as well, because we should be able to. I'm sure we've got a bit of list or whatever.
Oh, farewell, I hope you all enjoyed this episode of Time for Heroes podcast. If you would like to get in touch, the best way is on the Facebook page, Time for Heroes podcast, or on Instagram at Time for Heroes podcast, or Twitter at Time for Heroes P1, or drop me an email at timeforheroespod@gmail.com. You'll find Time for Heroes on all podcast platforms, including Spotify, Apple, Google and Amazon. Please leave a review where you can, share with others, and more importantly, enjoy.